Hello, hello! Welcome, everyone! We are rocking the Shimakaze, the crazy nerfed Shimakaze that's complete garbage now, since the latest update. And by latest, I mean, like, it was like 2 weeks ago now. Lots of Shimakazes in this game. I guess it's still worth playing for other people too, as well, right? The nerf, I got nerfed, but it's really just, it's like a tiny amount of detectability range, right? That they made worse, and then it's like detectability in smoke or while firing guns in smoke too. Like it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Anyone that's complaining really should not be complaining. Like, this destroyer is still freaking amazing. Nobody else can send 15 torpedoes 11 kilometers that do crazy amounts of damage. So yeah, quit your bitching. Quit your bitching. We will press towards the sea zone, towards the sea hole. I like to call zones holes, especially the B zone. It's like B hole is funny, but if you think about it, B zone is kind of funny too. I have the sense of humor of a 10-year-old, right? I get it. Alright, so we'll send a stack of torpedoes up this way here. I do like to try and get a little bit further, because, you know, like, how many times do you see ships hanging out up there, right? So, especially cruisers. So, a lot of, and the other thing, too, is, like, I'll send, if I spawned on the other side, that's where I would go, right? So, I like to send torpedoes to where I would go, right? And of course, somebody back there behind us is doing the same thing, right? So we see torpedoes coming our way. Lots of destroyers in this game, and of course they all show up just right here for us. It looks like did somebody use radar? Thank you, sir. If somebody used radar, that was an appropriate radar usage, and we appreciate you. Yeah, somebody's got to be using it to spot the Shimakaze over here. So I want to send another rack up that way just because nothing's gotten spotted up there. Although both, I wasn't looking. I was like, oh wait, there's only 2 battleships in the game, and both of them have been spotted, and neither of them are up there, right? So there may end up being no one up there, and I just wasted all my torpedoes. And of course, we sent one towards this Shimakaze. So that's kind of going to be, like, we're just trying to guess what he's going to do, if he's going to come through there or not. But we have the zone capped now, so we don't really need to hang around, right? And it's much easier to defend the zone once you've got it. You don't have to stay in it anymore. If you get a spot on a ship, you can shoot it, and then that zone remains yours. So that's what we like to do. And then you get those defend banners too. Those are always good for XP, right? So yes, now at least one of these destroyers is in here, but I do not want to go 3-on-1 with destroyers. This isn't the best. This isn't exactly a gunboat. This is meant for sneaking around, dumping torpedoes, and running away like a coward, right? Exactly. So that's what we do. That's how you play this ship. So we see our friendly destroyer getting his butt kicked over here. So I was gonna, we're gonna do some shooting, right? Because this guy's still spotted. But I was kind of hoping to be able to help him out a little bit right before he went down, but that did not happen. That was not part of the plan. Him dying was not part of the plan. And then here we go, Shimakaze. He's going to almost have our zone capped, and then he pulled the trigger and fired his guns and got himself spotted. So now, yeah, somebody else already hit him too. Yeah, like, you could have had that zone captured, and if you just don't fire your guns, you won't get spotted. Like, that was a really dumb move. And then, of course, now he's almost dead. Several people have been shooting at him. We got a whole 5,000 damage done this game so far. Aren't you glad you came to watch? This intensity. We are going to make sure that zone stays ours, though. I am determined. That is mine. Ideally, when you're, like, the Shimakaze especially, you want to see a bunch of battleships to play against, and of course there's only 2 battleships here. So we are kind of forced to, manage the gameplay and try to, adjust a little bit to take on these destroyers, right? Because otherwise they're going to waste our battleships, and we don't want that. So we are kind of keeping them at bay. It's, you can't really tell, but just by sending torpedoes in their direction, they know we're out here. We'll hold off on pulling the trigger till we got a good shot on somebody like this guy. Come on, baby, give it to us. Give it to us. At least give us some hits. No, nothing. We suck. We suck. Gearing. We get some defense there. And those torps, are they looking good? We got him. There we go. It didn't increase our damage numbers that much because, well, he didn't have a lot of health left to start with. I gotta give it to the cruiser the cruisers that have been supporting here. That may have been why those guys were spotted again. So we'll shoot our guns at this Tulsa just because there's a smoke screen between him and us. And then, of course, because of that, now he's not spotted either, right? So we'll try and make a prediction on which way he's going to go. If he comes down south this way, he'll meet some of these torpedoes, right? But we really don't have to be aggressive here. We have 2 zones to their 1. We're even up a ship. So I kind of like to let the enemy come to you. Is my go-to strategy, and that is exactly what's happening with this Yamato. I don't know if he saw what happened to all his friends, where he's been this entire game, but he's about to get some torpedoes sent towards him. So now we gotta wait, because this, our allied destroyer, so we waited an extra second to make sure he didn't block our torpedoes. Of course, you can still fire them, they're just, you gotta time it. And that Tulsa is also coming this direction. And I'm kind of hoping the battleship can lob some bullets at him or something, because that'll keep the zone in our hands as well. It looks like he might be planning to leave the zone, though. So we smoke up, and then, unfortunately, we get radared by the Tulsa. It's like, right as we use it, too. But we'll kind of pick on this Yamato. Neither of them have a shot on us because of these islands that are in the way, right? So we kind of lucked out there. So we'll stay put. And hopefully we can wait out this radar. And if we can get some cheap shots over the island, then so be it. That shot must have come from that battleship that's all the way over in Zone A. So I mean, we're pointed towards him. He's not going to be able to do much to him. And of course, it's a battleship. It's got a long reload too. So yeah. Yamato, I mean, he had to have seen those torpedoes we shot up there. Like, I don't know why he's coming. Oh, there's torpedoes coming this way. Let them all go that way then. Yeah, there's someone over there to shoot. And he probably saw our other destroyer too, right? It scared him this direction. He's just deciding who wants to kill him, who he wants to kill him. So he's definitely taking at least one of these. This will be our actual damage numbers for this game. If I got 2 hits on this Yamato. Does he have damage con for the flood? Yes, he does. So he's not flooding, but we've got another rack to send at him. And that is the golden rule when you're playing as this ship, is not to dump all 15 of your torpedoes all at once. Because then somebody else will kill that ship. It won't matter anyway. So we are going to lead the Tulsa to the battleships here, because both of them came over here, our friendly battleships. And we will go and head over towards the A and B caps. I also don't really want to get into a fight with this other cruiser, whoever this may be over here. But the kind of the damage that, the rock, paper, scissors mentality of the game says we should go after battleships because we are a destroyer, right? Destroyers are best at taking out battleships. Battleships are really good at wasting cruisers, and cruisers are really good at taking out and hunting down destroyers, right? So, in general, right? There's some exceptions. There's some little gems of ships out there that are good at other things too, right? But so just using the torpedo lock on just to kind of see what the Tulsa's doing. If he wanted to, he could turn back in towards the B hole here. And, if he did come in aggressively, he would meet some of these torpedoes, right? That's kind of the idea. But the other thing, too, there's a destroyer out there somewhere that isn't spotted either. And if I was that destroyer, I'd probably be trying to cap zones right now, which would be the B hole, right? So kind of figured this is where the battle would be. I know we've got really good concealment in this ship, so I'm kind of suspecting that we will spot their destroyer before he spots us, and sure thing we do. So we're going to hold off and don't fire your guns, don't fire your guns, don't fire your guns. He's moving away, so we're going to get out of spotting range and still be able to see him, right? So his is just a little bit worse than ours. So we were able to keep him spotted long enough for our ships to get some shots off at him at least, right? And then we'll see if we can't sneak into the A-hole. That one really is a hole. Like, it's surrounded by land, right? We're up on points, but as always, you know, our ships could die. In fact, that's what's about to happen. Because decisions, people. Decisions. The Khabarovsk. I really struggle with the Soviet destroyers. So I end up, because I struggle with them and I end up playing overly aggressive with them, and then that's what does me in, right? So, but this guy's he's survived thus far, but I mean, it looked like he spent most of his time hanging out in the islands over here. A little vacation. So we'll get into this zone, and then we finally spot that other battleship. I was kind of wondering where he went. But that is also the downfall of some players. If you go around and take a cruise around the long way, that takes you out of the fight. And then you did zero contribution this whole time. Although that might be why he has no health left. So somebody just needed to tickle him. Oh man, how do we end up as the solo ship in this game? Let's find out. Two cruisers. Alright, no, our one cruiser is just chilling in the middle of the map here. And then our one battleship is just as weak as that Schleifen was, so he only needs a little bit. So there he goes, and Napoli takes him out. Maybe that's one ship we need to start playing at. So I have the Napoli unlocked, and we haven't dug into her yet, right? If you don't know me, you know, our channel, I like to, I play everything. Like, I even play the bad ships, you guys, because why not? Let's have some fun with it, right? So here's when I'm starting to think, like, okay, it's 3-on-3. That cruiser's definitely gonna die. Our allied cruiser's definitely gonna die. Like, he's just YOLO pushing out towards a Soviet destroyer and then another cruiser that has plenty more health than he does. And then this Napoli is full on health, who looks like his health bar looks like a battleship health bar, right? Like, so he's getting into a very close fist fight with our battleship. So we'll send some torps that direction. And just kind of see how it goes, and then we'll send some in this direction on our way this way, and then we are going to play Runaway, because we are up on points. There's no way. This is how you win, right? Like, I'm not fighting like a man. It may be cowardice. Like, I've totally gotten messages. I've gotten hate mail from people being like, coward. And like, I'm like, well, I won. Like, it's a game, and the object of the game is to win the match, right? So I did what I had to do to win the match, right? So I'm going to assume that they're going to try and hunt me down. They know, you know, we've got the located icon here, so somebody knows which direction we are. Probably the destroyer, right? But we're literally just going to dump torpedoes into the direction that I think that they're going to come into, and then we have 1 minute of just running away to make sure we solidify the win, right? So as long as we don't get spotted, we do have a decent amount of health for Shimakaze, but you know, 2 cruisers, that would hurt. You know, everybody firing at me at once. So there, the Napoli takes the Yamato out, and it's just us. It's just us. So then we can see that the A-hole is getting capped. And so we know that's probably their destroyer. So if we get torpedoes reloaded, we got 10 seconds left on them. We'll send them in there, but we do need to keep moving away just in case he's faster than us, right? Like, if he catches up to us, I doubt he's going to be able to kill us in 20 seconds, but you never know. We like to win. We like to win here on this channel. So we're going to try not to lose and get destroyed, right? 45,000 damage is not that great for a Shimakaze game, but we will see where we end up on the leaderboard, right? So We got 2 solo zone caps. I like to fire my guns at the last second to show people, haha, here I am. And the other thing too, at the end, after we kind of go through here what our results are, where we ended up, I did post at the very end here kind of the like a 2-minute video of the like the buffs and nerfs for all the ships that they that Wargaming changed, right? That World of Warships changed. So you can go, we'll look through those and just talk through them really briefly, and then if if there's a ship that you're interested in that you like to play as a lot, of course, you can just pause it, right? You can pause it and look at it all you want. But yeah, I mean, this is, at this point, this news is like 2 weeks old, right? So we are using, what is it? I think this is Yamato or Takeo. I always mix up the commander names, and sometimes I go and show the guys first. But for the most part, torpedo damage and reload times, and then concealment is kind of how we are outfitting our Shimakaze, right? So. And then yeah, I picked the C detectability range, so you could get detectability even better than what we've got it. But then I don't want to lose hit points. I'm just not a fan of these commander perks that have like negative things on them, like this one. Although we hardly ever use our guns, right? So that one's fine, right? But you could go smoke screen here, right? And then yeah, I'm addicted to being able to have some maneuverability when we have engine damage or steering gear damage, right? So a quick look at the Shimakaze here. Just please, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are doing World of Warships videos every single day. Look at those 3 torpedo launchers of 5. Aren't they beautiful? So lovely. And then here's our useless turrets at the back, right? But yes, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. That is kind of the sweet spot for YouTube, where they finally consider us a real person. I'm a real boy. And then, yeah. Then we can actually do YouTube correctly, right? Right. And then, yeah, so since we play everything, we don't have a crazy amount of kills in the Shimakaze, 850, denoted by this big number right here on the bow. But yeah, I've seen people with over like 1,000 or 2,000. Like, jeepers creepers, like, are you just playing the Shimakaze? And the answer is probably yes, right? So, but yes, so here is the kind of buffs and nerfs off of World of Warships Legends website, right? So the Schleifen took some hits. They dialed her back a little bit. Main battery reload. Stalingrad got some buffing. Better AP shell damage, and they added HE shells. She did not have HE before, although with that ship, most of the time you're going to be using AP anyway. And the Alaska, one of my favorite ships, she already has really awesome range, or at least we outfitted her for range. So, but increase in main battery range and reload time. Fire duration increased. I mean, I guess so. This is a buff nerf. I guess it's a little of both, right? And then here's the Shimakaze, right? This is a ship we just played as. So detectability range was increased slightly, right, for all of these things. So, but like, it's not game breaking. It's not that much. It's not bad. It's not bad, you guys. It's not bad. Heisen, Prince Ruprecht, and St. Louis. These are ships I don't play as very much. Same with the Neptune and the Sumner. I think these are tier 8s, and so since we don't buy our way through all the tech trees, we're probably still working on a lot of those, right? Kitakaze. So Kitakaze is another good one. We did some recent videos on the Kitakaze. That is another fun one. That is a Japanese destroyer that is more gun-based instead of torpedo-based. So if you do it correctly, that ship's pretty fun to play as. Almost like a cruiser, right? Monarch gets some buffs. Kansas gets some nerfs. I really liked the Kansas, but I do kind of agree that it was a little bit overpowered, especially people using the Azure Lane commander, right? Because it was brutal, right? And then Charles, Martel, and San Diego, right? So, thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, right?